All right, guys, welcome to the 2021 Montana Grizzlies basketball schedule prediction video. It's a bit different of a video because since September, we've been doing all football videos. This is the first non-football video in about 2 months, so it's kind of crazy, but that's only because I was not at the games. Very unfortunate that I cannot be in Northern Colorado, and it's going to be even more sad against Northern Arizona. I really wish I could go to those games, but unfortunately we can't. But basketball starts today, 7:30, Dickinson State. I can't wait. I know everybody else can't wait. As you know, I always do a schedule prediction video. Let's get this thing going. All right, guys, here we go. Are you ready? Game number 1 against Dickinson State. The home opener in front of a packed Dahlberg Arena. First time in 2 years there'll be actual people there. Last year was the cardboard cutouts. The fans are ready for this game to begin. The players have been waiting. Montana will win their first game of the year over Dickinson State. Game 2, we travel to Starkville, Mississippi to play the Mississippi State Bulldogs in our first road game. Now, that's important. Why? As you know, Mississippi State is not a very good basketball team. They lose every year, it seems. And I actually think Montana has the better team, believe it or not. But as I said, this is our first road game of the year. It is our second game of the year. As you know, Montana, they rotate in players to see what lineup works best at the beginning of the year. And that's why I think we're not going to win this game. We're still going to be trying to find that perfect rotation. But I do think it will be close. Montana keeps this one close, but Mississippi State pulls it out in the end. Next up, we travel to Grand Forks, North Dakota to face a very familiar opponent, one that used to be in the Big Sky Conference, the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. These are the non-conference games that you really can't predict. It's not one of the top teams like Washington, Oregon, one of the Pac-12 teams we normally play. And it's not Dickinson State or Montana Tech, some of those teams. It's right in the middle. This is Montana versus North Dakota, a very tough non-conference game. And we will win it. We will go to North Dakota and get a very good win over the Fighting Hawks. Next up, Game 4, we got Nebraska-Omaha coming to town. Now, 2 years ago, we went there and lost by 5 in overtime. So, looking to get some revenge here. And I think we will. Just like North Dakota, it's going to be another tough non-conference game at home. But since we're at home, those fans can be wild. Montana goes to 3-1 on the year with a win against Nebraska-Omaha. Next up, we got UC San Diego, a team I've never even heard of before this year even began. And it is game number 1 of a mid-season tournament taking place in Missoula, Montana, the Zootown Classic. Mid-season tournaments are always so fun, and when you're the host, you better not lose, and Montana better not lose this game because this will be the easiest on the schedule. Montana steamrolls UC San Diego. Folks, Thanksgiving is already good, but there is something that can make it 10 times better, and that is Montana basketball. And this year, we got a Thanksgiving game against UNC Wilmington, the Seahawks from North Carolina. Another one of those games where if we lose, it is going to be very, very sad. Montana keeps it rolling on Thanksgiving. They go to 5-1 on the year. Folks, if you're going to schedule a midseason tournament, make sure it's against teams you know you are better than. Southern Miss is not a very good basketball team. Now, the only problem I see with this game is it is the third game in a row. They have a game November 24th, 25th, and this is on the 26th. 3 straight games with basketball game. That could lead to some problems, but is it? I don't think so. I think the Grizz are going to get over that with all their depth they have, and they will beat Southern Miss to go to 6-1 on the year. We're back on the road after 4 straight home games to take on the Oregon Ducks. The only thing I'm going to say about this game is just play our style of basketball, learn from the mistakes, and move on from this game. Oregon will dominate the Grizz in this one. Next up, we travel to Sacramento to play the Sacramento State Hornets in our first conference game of the year. We play 2 conference games, and then we're back in the non-conference. But the first conference game, this is where we really got to win these games. And we just lost to Sacramento State in football, which I am still absolutely furious about. But basketball is a different story. Sacramento State is going to have a hard time beating us. They rarely do it, and Montana will win their first conference game of the year. Guys, I know Northern Colorado was picked near the bottom of the Big Sky Conference preseason rankings, but something about this game I do not like. Northern Colorado always gives us a fight, no matter how good or bad they are. And this game being on the road, I'm very scared about this game, folks. Northern Colorado will upset Montana in this one, and the Grizz will go to 7-3 on the year. Well, folks, this doesn't happen very often. The Montana Grizzlies will host the Air Force Falcons from the Mountain West Conference. This does not happen a lot. This is a rare moment. Hosting teams from other conferences like this never happens. Unfortunately for the Grizz, it does not matter how good Air Force is, because I don't have a lot of confidence in Air Force. But whenever we play these kind of schools, home or away, we struggle. And I think that streak will continue. The Air Force Falcons will beat the Grizz, but it will be very, very close. Unfortunately, the Grizz are on a bit of a losing streak, but luckily they are now playing Yellowstone Christian College, a team that last year they beat 102-42. Nothing's going to change. Montana is going to dominate yet again, and their losing streak is going to go away. Montana will kill Yellowstone Christian College. Next up, we go to Santa Clara, California to play the Bronx. This is going to be a very, very tough matchup, but I think the Grizz will get it done to go to 9-4 on the year. Next up, we host Idaho State as we are back into conference play for the rest of the year. Now, this Idaho State team could be tough. Last year in 2 games, the first game we only beat them by 6, and the second we only beat them by 1. So this is going to be a very tough matchup. But I think the Grizz are going to pull it out, but it will be very close. Next up, Weber State comes to town as it is a matchup of 2 of the most winning programs in the last century in the Big Sky Conference, Montana and Weber State. Weber State always gives us a fight every time. Last year, we split the series at 1-1. This year, I think we will just narrowly pull it out as Montana keeps it rolling to go to 11-4 on the year. All right, folks, Montana at Eastern Washington. Our 2 Big Sky Championship wins both came against Eastern Washington. And then last year, they killed us in all 3 games, including the Big Sky semifinals, where they beat us 78-50. Now, this year, they lost a lot of players, including their head coach. But I don't care what you say about this Eastern Washington team, no matter how good or bad they are going to beat us in this game. It just is a team we cannot beat. Eastern Washington wins this one. Next up is a rivalry that dates back centuries. Montana State, the brawl of the wild. Now, unlike football, which better change this year, and we better win that game, we absolutely own Montana State in basketball. They cannot beat us in basketball, and it's not going to change this year. Montana keeps it rolling over Montana State. Last year, at the very beginning of the year, we lost to Southern Utah back-to-back games by a combined score of 2 points. They beat us by 1 each game, and they are picked to finish first this year. Southern Utah is going to come to Missoula and get the win over the Grizz. Guys, earlier in the video, I said Northern Colorado was the one team we can't beat if they're good or bad. This is the true team we can't beat. Portland State. We cannot beat Portland State no matter how good or how bad they are. The streak is going to continue. Portland State continues their dominance over the Grizz. Next up, we travel to Flagstaff to play the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona. Last year, we split the series at 1 game apiece, and for some reason, I have a very, very bad feeling about this game. Northern Arizona will beat the Grizz as the Grizz suffer their 3rd straight conference loss of the year. All right, guys, next up, we got Idaho at home, and Idaho is the team we beat in the first round of the Big Sky Conference tournament at the end of the year to move on, and the only guy that was dominant in that game for Idaho was Scott Blakeney. He's on the Grizz now. Idaho will not beat Montana. Montana finally gets their 13th win of the year. Next up, we got Eastern Washington at home. The only reason I said we were going to lose the first game is because we were on the road. As you know, Eastern Washington, they lost a ton of players. They lost their head coach. Montana will prevail in this one over the Eagles. We now travel to Ogden, Utah to play Weber State. I do not see us winning this game. These are 2 of the most winning programs of the last decade in the Big Sky Conference, and you can guarantee Weber State does not want to get swept by Montana. Weber State will get the win in this one. Like I said earlier, Idaho State is going to be a very tough game. I said we were going to win it close, and I think this one is going to be close as well. Montana beats Idaho State, but again, it will be close. Next up, we host Northern Arizona. We already lost once. I do not think we're going to lose again. I do not think we're going to get swept by anybody. It's not going to happen. Northern Arizona will not beat the Grizz. Montana goes to 16-9 on the year. Guys, I said we can't beat Portland State. There's an exception this time. Montana is going to take down Portland State at home. They will figure out a way to stop Portland State, and they will win. Next up, we travel to Idaho to play the Vandals. This is the first time we'll be playing in their new arena. And because of that, I think we're going to lose. Not because of that specific reason, but I just don't have a feeling we're going to sweep anybody. I've said it multiple times today, and I think it's going to continue today. Idaho wins it very close, but they do get the win. Southern Utah was picked to finish first in the conference. I already said that. and that is why we lost to them the first time. I do not think we're going to lose this time. I think we're going to go to Southern Utah, get a very, very good win over the Thunderbirds. Guys, you know this game is going to be good when it's being broadcast on ESPNU. Yep, you heard that right, folks. ESPNU will be broadcasting this game, Montana State at Montana. You already know Dahlberg Arena is going to be going crazy. And I think the Grizz are going to just keep on rolling against Montana State. The Bobcats just seemingly can't beat the Grizz in basketball, and it's going to continue for them. Montana goes to 19-10 on the year. Guys, I already said Northern Colorado is going to have a down year, but they seemingly always play us tough, and I think that will continue. But unlike the first game, Montana will prevail in this one in a very close win over Northern Colorado. Sacramento State rolls into town as it is our final game of the year before the Big Sky Conference tournament. I have a bad feeling about this game. Now, I know we could probably beat Sacramento State on Senior Day, our final home game, our final game of the regular season. But the biggest problem is 2 years ago, we had a really good chance at a good seed in the Big Sky Conference tournament, and we lost 2 straight games, and we didn't really get that good seed, so I have a bad feeling that we are not going to really do much today. Sacramento State with the win over the Grizz as the Grizz fall to 20-11 on the year. All right, guys, that is going to be it for the 2021 Montana Grizzlies basketball schedule prediction video. I have us going at 20-11, which is a pretty good year. We definitely can win some more games, but we definitely can lose some as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss another video. Comment below if you agree or disagree with my picks. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks as Montana takes on Montana State in the 120th meeting of the Brawl of the Wild.